Hello everybody, PokeKid here. Now we are going to play Night March. Play a couple of games with Night March, in fact. And I'm going to be playing the version with Gallade and Puzzle Time. That version is my personal favorite. And my opponent is most likely playing, looking at the types, which were Fighting, Dark, and Colorless. He is most likely playing Yveltal Gallade, so this should be a fairly good match. So my opponent's name is Grotus. Now, if I had a basic, this would have been a really, really good start if I get a Battle Compressor. But unfortunately, I don't have a basic Pokemon. So I'll start with the Joltik. And what Night March does, its attack, this attack does 20 damage times the number of Pokemon in your discard pile that have the Night March attack. So I can play down Battle Compressor to discard, let me just see, yeah, Lampent, where is it? It's kind of annoying how you have so many cards and you just have to click and click and click. So I'm going to discard Lampent, Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick, and Gallade. Now I'm going to attach a Fighting Fury Belt to Joltik and play Trainer's Mail. So I can get either a Battle Compressor or a Fighting Fury Belt, and I want to get a Battle Compressor to discard more of my Night Marchers. So there are 3 Pokemon with the Night March attack: Pumpkaboo, Joltik, and Lampent. Lampent, you don't run the basic, it's stage 1. So Lampent is usually the one you want to discard first. Now I'm going to play down Shaman to set up. I want another Puzzle of Time because then I can get back some of my Battle Compressors. And I got a Puzzle of Time. So I'm going to play down 2 Puzzle of Time. And I'll get back Battle Compressor. And wait, let me just see something. Yeah, 2 Battle Compressor, which I can use to get rid of more Pokemon. So I'll play down Battle Compressor. And I can also get rid of my second Maxie's. No, not Maxie's, Gallade. If I run 2. I might run 1. So let me just see. Joltik. Oh, actually, I'm playing against Yveltal, so I will want to get rid of Pumpkaboo. Let me just see if I have another Gallade. Nope. So I'll discard my Pumpkaboo. And now I'll play down a second Battle Compressor just to get rid of Battle Compressor, because I won't be needing to use Battle Compressor anymore. And maybe 1 Joltik. Okay. Now I will play down Ultra Ball, discarding Lysandre and AZ. I could discard Sycamore, but I want to draw Supporter for next turn. Now I'll be grabbing Shaman. And I'll play down Shaman and use Setup to draw 5 cards. Now I'm going to play down Joltik. Attach a Fighting Fury Belt. Now I think I'm going to use... No, I'm going to play Judge, which makes my opponent shuffle his hand to his deck and draw 4 cards, but also myself. But, Night March can withstand that. So now I will attach a DCE and pass, because I can't attack my first turn. So my opponent played Acrobike, discarding a Muscle Band. And then he's playing another Acrobike. And then he's discarding Skyla. He's going to attach a Floatstone to Zora, play down Acrobike. Zora evolves into Zoroark, which has stand-in, which is like Keldeo's Russian. He played down another Acrobike, putting a, what was that? Ultra Ball into the discard. Then I play down mini Yveltal and then set up. You'd have to Dark to Zora, probably to use Moonless Madness, which makes Joltik asleep. No, not asleep. Confused. Right? Yeah, confused. My opponent played down an Yveltal EX, which is usually the main attacker, and then Gallade for a enhanced hammer. And I was going to play down that enhanced hammer to discard my DCE, which is quite annoying. And now my Joltik is asleep. No, sorry, why do I keep on saying asleep? He's confused. Now I will play down Sycamore. And I got one puzzle of time. Let me see if I can get a second. Trainer's Mail, and I'll grab a, this is interesting. I think I'm going to grab a Dimension Valley. So I can Ultra Ball it. Let me see what else I have in my discard. I do have a Joltik in there, but not right now. So now I'm going to play Super Rod. I don't want to get back most of my Night Marchers, but Joltik is going to be my main attacker, so I'm going to want to put Joltik in there. And I'm also probably going to get Pumpkaboo, and I guess I have to get 3. So I guess I'm just going to put another Pumpkaboo. Because now that I think about it, I'm not going to need that many Night Marchers. But the thing is, he's going to be one-shotting me. So I'll need a couple at least. So now Ultra Ball, Dimension Valley, and Vespiqueen for a Joltik. And then I'll play down Joltik. And now I have Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick, which will allow me to put Gallade onto my bench, as long as I have not played down a supporter yet. Which I might have played down Sycamore. So not this turn, but next turn. So I guess I'm going to hold the Puzzle of Time. Actually, no, I'm going to play Puzzle of Time. So I will get to put look at the top 3 cards of my deck and put them back on top in any order. So I'm going to want cards that I can just get rid of. So that would be Puzzle of Time, and then these don't matter because I'm going to get Gallade out. And now it's my opponent's turn. So next turn I'm going to use, let me just show you the card. So Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick, you can only play this card if it's the last card in your hands, and then put a fighting Pokemon from your discard pile onto your bench, then draw 5 cards. So my opponent just used Mind Jack, which did a bunch of damage with Zoroark. So Mind Jack, this attack does 30 more damage for each of your opponent's bench Pokemon, and it already does a base 10. So I'll play Puzzle of Time again. So it doesn't actually matter, because I'm just going to draw them. And now I'll play Vespiqueen for a Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. And play down Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. Put back Gallade, and then that goes automatically on my bench, even though it's a stage 2. Now I'm going to play down Town Map to allow me to look at my prizes. So I have a couple of good cards. Some Night Marchers. Now I'm going to play down Enhanced Hammer. Discard the DCE on Zoroark. Now he can't use Mind Jack unless he attaches another energy. And now this isn't a great hand because the thing is that I don't have any DCE to attack with. So I'm going to use Premonition, which allows me to look at the top 5 cards of my deck and put them back on top in any order. So there's some DCEs here. Now I think I'm going to put a DCE, and then the rest of these don't actually matter because I'm going to Sycamore the next turn. But just in case, let me just put them in the order. I want Pumpkaboo. Or actually, I want Pumpkaboo in my hand because then I can Sycamore and put in my discard. And then I want those DCEs. And then I want a Floatstone and Vespiqueen. So there. And now I'm going to pass. So Grottos 5 is playing one of the top decks. It's Zoroark, Gallade, Yveltal. He also runs that Maxie's Hidden Ball trick to get back Gallade from his discard. And now, you might think that you would run, like, Curlia and Ralts. But, no. With Maxie's, you don't want to run any of those. You just want to run that. So, now I'm going to bring up Joltik. And I'll draw the Pumpkaboo that I knew I was going to draw. And I'll play Sycamore. Now I know I'm going to get the attack off for the knockout. So I'll attach a DCE, or maybe not the knockout, probably knockout. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, so I'm doing 170 damage because of Fighting Fury Belt. Now I'm going to play down Dimension Valley and a trainer, or I have 2 cards left, so I'm going to want to play Judge a couple of times. So I'm going to use Premonition. And then these are the 2 cards left. So I'm going to want to put it like that. And now I'm going to use Night March to do 170 damage. And now I'm going to get back my Joltik. So now pretty much the only hope my opponent has is to deck me out. That's one bad thing about Night March. The opponent can deck you out. So my opponent just played a Ultra Ball, discarding Delinquent and Yveltal. And let's see what he's going to get. Another Zora. And he's going to play that down and use Via Seeker. Now, my opponent is going to build up another Zoroark, which is a pretty good play. Now he's going to grab the Enhanced Hammer to discard this. He doesn't know that I have that DCE in my hand already. So now he's going to use Oblivion Wing, doing 30 damage to my Joltik. Normally that would knock Joltik out, but I have Fighting Fury Belt, which makes him have 70 health. So now I'm going to play down another Joltik and attach a DCE. And then I'm going to, let me see, yeah, just use Night March to do 340 damage because of weakness. Now, is there any of these that is going to help me a lot? Not really, so I guess I'm just going to grab Pumpkaboo. So that's one bad thing about this deck. Again, it's just that it decks out because you get rid of so many of your cards. So now he's going to Lysandre at my Gallade and use Moonless Madness. So now I have no cards left. So what I'm going to do is attach a DCE to Gallade. And now play Via Seeker for a Judge. Now that I think about it, I should not have attached that DCE. I should have attached a Floatstone. So that was my mistake. But too late now. But I would normally attach that Floatstone to the Gallade, but I don't want to because that's just wasting another card. So now I'm going to retreat into Joltik and use Night March for 170 damage. So you see how powerful Night March is, but it has a couple of big downfalls. For instance, Disruption and decks that can take multiple prizes. It also decks out a lot, but you can kind of manage that. So my opponent just Evil Balled to knock out my Joltik, and now I'm in trouble because I don't have any more DCE, but I'm already going to lose because I'm going to deck out. So there's that Float Stone, and let me just Sycamore, and yeah, so that's pretty much the game. And I'm going to play one more game with this deck. Or if this game is fast, I might play one more. So I'm playing against Alucius, who's playing a weird multicolor deck that has like grass, fire, water, and a bunch of other stuff. So I'll call the coin flip. It's heads. So I will want to go first because my opponent could get item lock going or something. So I want to start with Pumpkaboo. Most matchups you want to use Pumpkaboo, but against Yveltal you pretty much want to use Joltik because of two things. The one thing that Yveltal has weakness, and because Pumpkaboo has weakness to Yveltal. So this hand isn't amazing, except it has pretty good cards to get rid of with Sycamore. For instance, that Lampent and the Gallade. So I'm just going to Sycamore and get rid of all that. So my opponent is playing Vespiqueen. So I got a Joltik and Battle Compressor. So I'm going to play down that Battle Compressor. And I'm going to discard... Wait. Was Maxie's back there? No. Let me just see. I'm going to discard Lampent. I'm going to discard... Oh, I want to discard another Lampent because the Gallade's already in there. And Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick. But I'm pretty sure Maxie's Hidden Ball Trick is prized. So therefore I want to discard another Lampent. Man, it's really hard to find stuff because you have to keep on clicking. Or do I not have any more? So I guess I'm just gonna discard a Joltik. Now, oh, I have the Maxies in my hand. Oh man, how crazy am I? Now Trainer's Mail to grab I could grab Fighting Fury Belt or a Battle Compressor. I think I'm gonna get a Battle Compressor. So with that Battle Compressor, I can play it and get rid of more Night Marchers. Last game I did have the trouble with the decking out, but you can get rid of quite a few cards without being in danger of decking out. So I'm going to get rid of these two Joltiks and a Battle Compressor. Eventually you can start getting rid of Battle Compressors because you won't need them anymore. So now let me just look at my discard. Okay. So now I think I'm going to use... I'm just going to pass. Because they already played Sycamore. Because that was my first turn, so... My opponent's playing Vespiqueen, which kind of is the same concept as Night March. They get stuff into the discard and then hit for a bunch of damage. So, oh, my opponent is playing one of the newest versions of Vespiqueen, which is Night March Vespiqueen. So this is going to be a lot more interesting than I thought. So my opponent use Professor Birch's observation and flip tails, and then play down Unknown, which has Farewell Letter, which you can discard it and draw a card from your bench. Or not draw a card from your bench, but if it's on your bench, you can discard it and then draw a card. So my opponent attaches DCE to Combi and play down Joltik. And now she is going to Trainer's Mail, getting back a Sycamore, probably as a draw supporter for next turn. And then Battle Compressoring again, probably to get rid of, let's see, how many Lampent does she have? Probably getting rid of 2 Lampent and a Joltik. That's what I would think. Or not. 2 Pumpkaboo and a Joltik. That probably means 2 of my opponent's Lampents are prized, which is something to note. So now this hand's interesting because I could get rid of both of those VS Seekers. And I think I'm going to have to. So I want to play down... Actually, I don't want to... Yeah, I do want to play down Joltik. And just... I guess... Yeah, just Sycamore. Ouch. Discarding those 2 VS Seekers, that really hurts. Yeah. So now I'm going to play down Dimension Valley, which will allow me to Night March with this because it takes 3 colorless. And now I'm knocking it out, so I won't need to play down Enhanced Hammer. So I'll just Shaman set up for 2. And I got a Fighting Fury Belt, which I'll want to attach to Pumpkaboo. And I have an Ultra Ball, so I can Ultra Ball for like a Joltik or something. But I don't think I want to do that just yet. So I'll just Night March, doing 130 damage. So yeah, this deck can get rolling, doing 1-shots against your opponent really fast. So I have 6 Night Marchers in the discard. My opponent played down Remoraid, which evolves into Artillery, which has Abyssal Hands. Sorry if I'm pronouncing that wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Abyssal Hands. I'm not sure. So my opponent played Acrobike, discarding a Vespiqueen. Just to show you what Vespiqueen does, it has Be Revenge. This attack does 10 more damage for each Pokemon in the discard pile. It's 20 plus. And my opponent used Night March for 120 damage. So now I'm going to bring up... Now I have a choice. I can bring up Joltik or Pumpkaboo. Now I have a... Well, that's the Dimension Valley, right? So I'm going to bring up Pumpkaboo. Now let me think. If I miss the... Well, I'm going to play down Enhanced Hammer to discard the DCE because I'm not sure whether I'll actually get the DCE. So, to use Night March. So now I'm going to grab a Shaman and set up for how many? 3. And this is what I was talking about if I miss the DCE. But I still have a chance of getting it because I haven't run out of stuff. I can still play down a supporter. So I'll play Judge. And I got the DCE, so that's good. Now I'll play down Town Map. So I have a Lampent prize, also a DCE and a Floatstone, so I'll want to get some of those. So I'll want to get that DCE off of the Night March. So I Night March for 150 damage, and I want to grab that DCE. So my opponent brought up Combi, and is probably going to evolve into Vespiqueen. Or first going to Ultra Ball, discarding Combi and Ultra Ball for a Vespiqueen. Probably evolve, attach a DCE, and use Be Revenge for the knockout. And there's Octillery with Abyssal Hands. Abyssal Hand. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it. My opponent also played Downtown Map. So let's see what my opponent's got prize. Some Night Marchers. That's quite a lot of Night Marchers, so that's pretty bad for my opponent. Good for me, though. So my opponent can use Farewell Letter, and she attaches a DCE to the Vespiqueen. And let's see what she does next. Sycamoring away what? A Vespiqueen? Drawing 7. And now uses V Revenge for 140 damage. Dun dun dun. That's quite a lot of damage. So let's just see how many DCEs my opponent has. 1, 2, 3, 3. So my opponent has 1 DCE left. It's really good to count your opponent's DCEs because that's their main envy sorts. So I have 1, 2, 3. So we're equalized on DCEs, except I have the upper hand. So now I just want to play AZ, picking up Shaman. And then I can use Setup to draw 5. I could have played Sycamore, but the thing is I'm running pretty low on cards. I have 11. So I have Battle Compressor. I might be able to get rid of something. Battle Compressor, maybe like a Pumpkaboo. Or a Joltik. I guess I'll just get rid of Dimension Valley. Yeah, Dimension Valley. I mainly just wanted to get rid of that. Now I can Trainer's Mail. And I have the Puzzle of Time, which is perfect. Because now I can play down 2 Puzzle of Time and get back some DCs. Play 2 copies. Now I can get back, let's see, maybe a Pumpkaboo? Maybe. Let's just see. Let me look. There's a DCE. So yeah, I think I'm going to get back a Pumpkaboo and a DCE. I got back a Pumpkaboo because I really need those Night Marchers. Because if I run out, I'm in trouble. So now I'll use Night March to do 140 damage. So now I have a choice about what to get back. I guess I could grab yeah, I think I'm going to grab a Lampent. Now my opponent brought up Joltik, so my opponent probably has a DCE, but maybe not. See, my opponent also has 10 cards, so like both Vespiqueen and Night March Vespiqueen all run through the deck really fast. So my opponent played down another unknown and is using Farewell Letter. And my opponent got that DCE, so she attached it to the Joltik and used another Farewell Letter. So my opponent is in pretty bad shape right now. Because the thing is, I have more Night Marchers and stuff ready. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to win this game. So now I'm going to attach a DCE to Pumpkaboo. And, let me think. Oh, my opponent conceded. So you can really see the power of Night March. It's really strong and it just kind of destroys everything. That's why it's the best deck in the format. It won 7 states and got second at 7 states. And no one else won more than 2 states, which is crazy. And it was 35% of top 8, and that is a massive number. So I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.